Hey everyone, and welcome to today's explainer. I want you to imagine two people. They both make the exact same salary, they both want to build serious wealth, and they both decide to start investing today. But flash forward 30 years, one of them retires with total financial freedom, while the other is still tossing and turning at night, stressing over money. Why? Did one pick better stocks? Did one just get incredibly lucky? Actually, no. The difference between winning the wealth game and completely losing it comes down to something so much simpler but deeply profound. They invested in a different order, and that order changed absolutely everything about their financial futures.
You see, Investor A follows a strict chronological plan. Investor B, on the other hand, well, they treat investing like a giant all-you-can-eat buffet. They're just grabbing whatever looks exciting in the moment. A trending stock here, a hot crypto coin there, maybe a flashy new ETF. They skip the boring foundational steps to chase the hottest trends. But doing this is literally like trying to build the second floor of a house before you've poured a concrete foundation. It might look impressive for a minute, but eventually the entire structure collapses, leading to a financial game over.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think of this agenda as your literal video game level map. Order is everything if you want to win the wealth game. We'll be going through 1. The secret wealth formula. 2. Survival and debt destruction. 3. Free money and tax havens. 4. The hidden wealth multiplier. 5. Accelerating your net worth. And finally, 6. The ultimate investing mistake.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the secret wealth formula.
So let's talk about the big picture philosophy that governs this entire system. Because, listen, wealthy investors, they don't guess. They absolutely do not treat investing like a buffet, just throwing money at the wall to see what sticks. Instead, they follow a highly disciplined chronological system. Now, I'll be honest, it's not the flashy, get-rich-quick version of investing you see all over social media. It's the version that actually works in the real world. By following these exact steps in order, you protect yourself from self-inflicted disasters and build an absolute fortress around your wealth.
Moving right along to Section 2, survival and debt destruction. This is where things get real.
Before we can even think about getting rich, we gotta focus purely on survival. We have to break those red chains of debt. So, step 1 requires you to pause everything else and build a literal $1,000 protective shield. You probably already know what an emergency fund is, but mathematically, if you're investing without one and a surprise expense hits, like your car breaks down or you lose your job, you are forced to sell off investments at a loss. This $1,000 shield keeps you mathematically in the game, because it acts as a shock absorber for life's sudden impacts. Okay, stop for a second. Look at this number, 22%. Just pause and think about the sheer mathematical absurdity of that figure. That is the average interest rate on credit card debt, and let me tell you, it is the ultimate wealth killer.
This exposes a massive, glaring contradiction in how most folks manage their money. Imagine you're carrying 10 grand in credit card debt at 22% interest, but at the exact same time, you're out there buying stocks, crossing your fingers for a 10% return. You guys, you are trying to make 10% on one side while violently bleeding 22% on the other. That's not investing. That is literally running uphill on a treadmill. Eliminating that high-interest debt is a guaranteed 22% return on your money, which is exactly why doing things out of order is pure financial sabotage.
So how do we fix it? We execute step 2, the debt avalanche. You make the minimum payments on all your debts, and then you violently attack the debt with the highest interest rate with every extra dollar you have. Think of debt like a massive hole in your financial bucket. Before you pour more water in, you gotta fix the hole. Every single time you eliminate a debt, you free up massive cash flow to attack the next one. Okay, let's dive into this next part, Section 3, free money and tax havens. Because there is one major exception to that debt rule. And that exception is capturing your employer match, which is step 3. Now, we all know how a 401k match works, but skipping it to pay off debt is mathematically disastrous. It is a glowing money machine. It's an immediate guaranteed 50 or sometimes even 100% return on your money before the stock market even opens for the day. Turning this down is quite literally refusing a raise. Even if you are aggressively paying down debt, you should contribute just enough to your workplace plan to capture every single cent of that free money.
All right, so you've got your $1,000 shield, the high-interest debt is gone, and you're scooping up that employer match. Step 4 is maxing out an IRA. But wait, this raises a really good question. Why an IRA instead of just dumping more cash into your employer's 401k?
It all comes down to control and costs.
IRAs give you vastly greater investment choices and, crucially, way lower fees. Imagine two identical investors earning the exact same returns, but one pays an extra 1% in annual fees. Over a few decades, that tiny 1% difference acts like a silent wealth killer, stealing literally hundreds of thousands of dollars from your future net worth. Utilizing an IRA to access low-cost index funds minimizes that damage and keeps your money exactly where it belongs, in your own pocket.
Now we're entering Section 4, the hidden wealth multiplier. Consider this the secret level of our game.
This is a financial cheat code that millions of people completely ignore, honestly to their own detriment. If you were to ask financial experts, hey, what is the most underrated, overlooked account in personal finance, the answer would probably shock you, because it's not even a standard investment account at all.
Step 5 is maxing out a health savings account, or HSA if you're eligible for one. Most folks assume this is just some boring account used to pay for bandages and prescriptions. Nope! Smart investors view the HSA as a retirement account in disguise, and this brilliantly illustrates why. The legendary triple tax advantage. You get a tax break when the money goes in, the investments grow completely tax-deferred, and when you pull the money out for qualified medical expenses, it's 100% tax-free. Since healthcare expenses in retirement are essentially a guarantee, the HSA acts as a dedicated tax-free wealth pool specifically designed for that exact reality.
All right, Section 5, accelerating your net worth. This is where the heavy lifting and the real compounding momentum begin. Once you have those hyper-efficient accounts funded, we hit Step 6, maxing out the rest of your retirement accounts, like your 401k. This right here, this is the massive industrial wealth engine of our entire system. By funneling larger chunks of money into these accounts year after year, you trigger this magical snowball effect of compounding growth. I'm not gonna lie, that first $100,000 is agonizingly slow to build, but the second $100,000, a bit easier. The third, even faster. Eventually, if you just stay consistent, your investments will literally out-earn your actual day job.
And that brings us to Step 7, the taxable investment account. Think of this as the final boss of the system. It gives you incredible freedom, no contribution limits, no annoying age restrictions, total flexibility to fund an early retirement, buy real estate, or start a business. But it comes absolutely last for a reason. The government takes a much bigger slice of the pie here. There are zero tax advantages. Smart investors only move to this step after they have completely exhausted every single tax advantage account available to them.
Finally, Section 6, the ultimate investing mistake. We really need to issue a stark warning here about how you can lose this game. We've covered the perfect chronological path, but the ultimate mistake? It's skipping steps. Millions of people jump from Step 1, or heck, sometimes Step 0, all the way to Step 7. They're out there buying taxable crypto while sitting on 22% credit card debt. They open fancy brokerage accounts before they even have a basic emergency fund. So the crucial point is this: building wealth is not about finding shortcuts or chasing massive overnight returns. It is entirely about reducing self-inflicted mistakes. Chasing massive returns while ignoring the guaranteed wins is a self-inflicted disaster. Doing this backwards guarantees failure.
So let's lock in the complete master plan one final time. Step 1, build a $1,000 emergency shield. Step 2, ruthlessly eliminate high-interest debt using the avalanche method. Step 3, capture every single penny of your free employer match. Step 4, max out your IRA for those lower fees. Step 5, utilize the triple tax power of an HSA. Step 6, max out your heavy-lifting retirement accounts. And finally, Step 7, pour whatever's left over into taxable accounts. It's a simple roadmap built entirely on discipline, ensuring every single dollar goes to the exact right place at the right time.
The math is totally proven, and the steps are incredibly clear. The only remaining variable in this whole equation is you. So I'll leave you with this question. Will you stick to the chronological system and win your financial freedom? Or are you going to spend your life exhausted, running uphill, endlessly chasing shortcuts? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.